Hopefully the sound is okay. This was a last minute live I decided to do, so I'm not sure if that many people will join. But so this week I decided I wanted to reopen my Etsy shop and just wanted to share what I was making. Um, Usually for my Etsy shop I do tote bags, so tonight I was just going to share how to make a simple tote bag for anybody that is wanting to learn how to sew. So I've already cut out the pieces, and sorry for the glare, I've got a lamp over here, but for a large tote bag I usually cut out a square that's 17 inches, so 17 inches square, and then for the bottom I cut out a square that's 2 inches. So I've already done that out of the main fabric. Oh, and I also put interfacing on the main fabric. It's just 100% cotton, and then I put medium weight interfacing on here. The lining is also 100% cotton, and it's the same size, 17 inches square. And then I've got this cotton webbing that I'm using for the straps. Okay, it looks like some more people might be in here. If you don't mind just saying hi in the comments just to let me know you're there, and thank you for watching. So not sure if you caught the beginning, but I'm just making a tote bag using this fabric, 17 inches square. Also let me know if you can hear me okay. I have a mic, but I didn't put it on, so I don't know if you'll be able to hear me. And I've got another phone over here so I can try to see comments. Hey, I am that girl. And is that Marina Ramirez? Even with glasses, my eyes are bad. So let me see if I can pull up the comments here. Oh, Macrina Ramirez. Hello. So yeah, back to the bag. 17 inches square for the outer bag, 17 inches square for the lining, and the strapping. Play the song for four big guys. Oh goodness, I'm sorry your mom passed away. Oh, that's so sweet. Do you sew, Macrina? Do you sew yourself? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first thing is just sew up the sides of the bag and then the bottom. And hopefully this won't be too loud. Oh, so sweet. Do you have small kids that you sew for? And I'm just sewing this with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And this is one of those projects that's real easy to sew and doesn't take a lot of time. And then you back stitch at the beginning and the start of each seam. And I did the bottom first, so now I'm doing the sides. Still with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And back stitching at the start and end of each row. Okay, thank you for the warning about the song. I have no idea what that is. Those of you in the comments, do any of y'all sew? Or want to learn how to sew? So this is, well, technically it's my second time going live, but it's kind of nerve-wracking even just getting up the guts. I'm making a tote bag. It's gonna come together pretty quickly, so you'll be able to see in a moment. You're crying? Oh, I'm sorry. Was it recent that she passed away? No. Pretty sure it still hurts no matter when it was, though. Alright, so I've sewn up the bottom, which is right here, and the sides. And the next thing I'm going to do is match the corners so I can close up the bottom of the bag. Oh, February 2000. Oh, goodness. So that the anniversary of her passing is coming up. So, yeah, I know that would be hard. And I don't know if you can see this that well, but this is how the bottom of the bag is. And so what you do is just open up the corners and then open up, you know, your seam right here and then match them together. And just gonna finger press it, but it could be pressed with an iron. And then I'm just gonna sew across here and do that on both sides. And still with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now I'm not using any pins or clips because the fabric is pretty stiff, so it won't move. I visit her every day. Oh. I know I have never, I can't relate to that pain you feel, but I'm really sorry that you are hurting that way. And I pray that God fills that void for you. Okay, so I'm doing the other corner. I've never timed myself making a tote bag, but I know it didn't really take that long when you got everything kind of laid out. So just sewing the last corner of the bag, well, of the outer bag. Okay, so the main part of the bag is pretty much done, and I'm just turning it right side out and just poking out the corners. So now I got to do the same thing with the lining. Where did I put it? Oh, it fell on the floor. And those of you watching tonight, tomorrow, 9 o'clock, I'm going to go live again. And I'll be making a book sleeve. And it'll be out of the same fabric. I'm doing it like as a matching set. So, hey, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. And I just cut out the corner of the lining. I had already done it for the main fabric, and that's just a 2-inch square. So the lining, I'm just going to sew it up the same way as I sewed the main bag. The only difference is I'm just going to leave an opening on the side. So when I sew the bag together, I can turn it right side out. And if anybody new is coming in, I am sewing a basic tote bag. And even though my lining is pink, I'm using the same black thread because it won't be seen once the bag is finished. So that was the bottom. Now I'm doing the side. Thank you for those of you that are in here now. If you don't mind, let me know if you can hear me okay. A thumbs up is enough to let me know you hear me okay. I know sometimes when I'm watching people's lives, I don't really want to comment. I'll just watch, but if you can just give a thumbs up to let me know that you can hear me okay. So this is the last side of the lining, and so this is the side that I'll leave the opening so I can turn the bag later. Yeah, this is a good sewing machine. This is it's a Singer. I think when I started sewing, this is the kind of machine my mom had. Well, at least the same company, of course. It was an older one. This one is fairly new. Right. So I finished that side of the lining, and I left an opening right here, just like my fingers are showing the width of it. So that may be about 2 inches. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a lot, just enough for you to pull the bag through when you finish it. And the fabric is kind of soft, so it'll be easy to pull it through. And this is like when I make tote bags, this one is oh, thank you, Sandy. So this tote bag, like I said, it's a 17-inch square, and this is what I consider a large tote bag. I also make tote bags that are a little bit smaller. So for a medium bag, I'll use a 15-inch square, and for small, I use a small tote bag would be 13 inches square. And I usually use cotton fabric or upholstery. I've done polyester fabric before for the tote bags, Usually if I'm doing polyester, it's so I can put a design on it. And I had another bag. I don't know where I put it, but I made it. Oh, it's on the chair. This one would be 15 inches square. And this one I actually made using a flour sack towel that I got from the Dollar Tree. And then I used the red webbing. And I made a matching book sleeve. And this, if you guys are available tomorrow, I'm going to do a video to show how I made the book sleeve. And this is actually, like, it holds a book this size. It's also big enough to hold a Kindle. But I thought this towel was real cute from the Dollar Tree. And I know it's backwards, but it just says, "Hey Sugar." And made the tote bag the same way. The only difference is it's a 15-inch square instead of the 17-inch square that I'm doing now. I went back to the Dollar Tree to see if they had some more of those, but I guess a lot of that stuff they just sell out pretty quickly. Yes, I use quilting cotton, and I just put a lining in it so it would be sturdy enough. And then really depending on what you're going to use the bag for, even if you make it out of the quilting cotton, you may not need a lining. Like if if you're not going to put anything in it that's really heavy. Now I'm back to sewing up the corners. I was talking a little bit. Good night, Macrina. Oh, yeah, I don't think I have the ability to accept money. If I can, I've never set that up, but I just appreciate you watching. All right, so I'm just still finishing up the bottom of the lining. I got kind of sidetracked showing off another bag that I had made. This year I've decided I wanted to kind of slow down on buying fabric. So something like this is a good way to sew up fabric. Like you can kind of just mindlessly sew it. And like you don't have to be really precise with it. And you can make it really any size you want. Okay. So now I'm just gonna mark, like this is the main body of the bag. And I'm just gonna mark where I'm putting the straps. And I just usually estimate exactly where they go. Like I usually measure maybe 3 or 4 inches from here. And just make a slit with my scissors to mark where I want to put it. So yeah, I'm gonna do about, that looks like about 3 inches. We'll do 4. And if this is something you're going to be making a lot of, then you probably want to, know the exact measurement of where you're putting your straps. That way, every single time you make it, it can be the same. But as a rule of thumb, just going in about 4 inches from the side seam would be enough. So I made a little, you can't see that, but I'll bring it a little bit closer. Like I made a little cut right here, and this is just where I'm going to line up the edge of the webbing. And that's what this is, the strap. Usually, oh, let me check my measurement. Oh, 9 o'clock tomorrow. Yeah, you can sew something heavy like canvas on this machine. I've sewn canvas on it. I've sewn denim on it. And if it looks like it's giving you any issues, or if your needle breaks, you can just switch it to a denim needle. But yeah, this machine can sew canvas. And usually I get a polyester webbing, and if it is polyester, when you cut it, you just need to get a lighter, just to melt the edges to keep it from fraying. This one is 100% cotton, so if I try to, like, it's not going to melt with a lighter, it'll just burn. So I just make sure I stitch it several times right here so it doesn't come undone and it doesn't unravel. And our clips right here. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can see that. And I just use clips to hold it in place. And I don't know if I said this, but the straps are 26 inches long. So let me find my other. I guess I didn't cut all the way down on this side. Okay. So I'm just going to use the clips to hold it in place until I sew it. And here's my other one for the other side. Okay, so I got the strap, the shoulder strap, clipped in place on both sides, and I'm just going to go ahead and do a stitch across these just to hold it in place, and then I'll put it together with the lining. And I just stitch back and forth just to make sure there's enough stitches to hold it. So I just stitch back and forth, and I'm shaking my table. I'm checking my bobbin. I had intended to, because I've been sewing with black thread today, I'd intended to wind another bobbin, but hopefully there's enough thread to finish the bag without me having to do it again. Drop that one. The Rookie Cop show. I don't think I've heard of that show. Usually I don't have my television on. If I'm not like watching YouTube or something, I'm listening to music. Okay, so I got the straps on both sides, and then now I'm just going to stick this inside the lining. And it is on the floor. So this is my lining. I sewed it up the exact same way that I sewed the main bag. Oh, and the lining is right side out. So this is the raw edge of the lining. This is the right side of the bag. And I'm just going to stick it in here, making sure the straps are down inside the bag. And I'm just going to match up the side seams so the lining is stitched the exact same way as the bag. So just going to open out the seams. I got my iron back here, but I'm just going to do this quickly. Normally I would iron the seams open just to make sure it stays smooth, but yeah, not going to worry about that right now. So I'm just going to pin it all around and then sew it up at the top. And then turn it right side out, and then I'll stitch it again after that. I'll do top stitching. And if you've sewn it with the exact same seam allowance, like the outer bag and the lining part, if you use the same seam allowance, it should match up perfectly. Okay, so now I'm just going to sew around here just to attach the bag to the lining. And like, I'm probably just going to stitch around this one time, but because it shouldn't come loose like this. The main thing is just making sure that you reinforce the straps, but this part of the bag, you really don't have to go around it more than once. It is definitely a superpower. And my bobbin thread is getting low. Hopefully it'll last. Okay, so I've sewn all around here, and you know, here is when you would want to, you know, clip your loose threads. Just so I can go ahead and finish it, I'm just going to go ahead and turn it right side out. And for people who make bags on a regular, this is the part they call birthing the bag. So this is the opening that I left in the lining, and I'm just going to reach in and then pull the bag through. And then after this part, the only thing left to do is close up the opening, which either you can do it by hand. I just ripped my bag. Oh well, so I'm gonna have to sew that back up too. And you can hand stitch it, like I said, or just sew it on the machine. And usually I just sew it on the machine just because nobody's gonna see it. So, and if you sew close to the edge, it'll be neat enough so that if anybody did see it, it's not gonna matter. Okay. So now that I've turned it out, I'm just going to tuck the lining inside. And like, I would just go, just iron this down and then stitch around here. So I would definitely change the thread just because I've been sewing it with black. And I'm okay with the black showing on this side, but I would switch my bobbin to pink, which is, you know, because it'll be seen right there. And then the only other thing is to stitch the opening inside the lining, stitch that closed. And I ripped it, which it was just my fault. I was a little too rough when I was turning it, so I'll have to stitch that hole. But other than that, the bag is done. So like I said, you got it turned, press it, do some top stitching around here just to keep that part down, and it's done. If you want the bottom to be like sturdy, you could put a piece of cardboard or a plastic strip in the bottom just to keep it, make it sturdy. But really, this is okay just like it is. Also, if you wanted to, you could have added a pocket inside. It is a big tote bag, so if you've got like some small things you're going to be putting in here, you would probably need a pocket just to stick everything in. So really that's it for the tote bag. And again, tomorrow I'm going to be doing a live, same time, 9 o'clock, showing how to make a book sleeve. And that's this right here. So I'll do a live to show how to make the book sleeve. I am going to save the live, so if you want to come back and watch it, or if you know somebody else that might want to watch it, you can share it with them. If you have any questions, just leave the questions below and I'll come back to it. Yeah, the Open Leaves character. I don't know why I was so rough. I'm not even sure why I get nervous going live, but that's why I don't do it that often. But I appreciate y'all for even watching. If you have not already liked the live, please do so. Also, if you want to learn how to sew, or just like watching people do creative things, consider subscribing to my channel. And again, my name is Danielle. I don't even think I said that in the beginning, but I appreciate you watching. Have a good night.